now she's coming out. Just look way up here now. See her crossing this piece of open ground there now. She looks in real good shape, they all do.
I suppose all of us must wonder if, in fact, it is possible to step between times.
You're back on live again now. Okay. So what do you want to do? Hit down the metabond? Right on. Okay.
I look back on experiences which I have had in barren lands with caribou, for example, or in situations where I have been watching bears, or in situations where I have been on offshore islands surrounded by screaming clouds of seabirds. Times when I have the experience of losing touch completely with this time, moving backwards to something that is more primal, more natural, something that is able to embrace the spirit without attempting bondage of it, something that is capable of identifying beauty for you because it is ever present. And this is the kind of state, I guess, in which often it is easiest to write. And it is a thread by which the mind and the spirit can move backwards. The present has disappeared, and where there is this kind of ancientness, and there really is this landscape that is filled with strange figures, that is filled with timelessness, and in which the individual is simply one roving spirit that is moving without really any conscious effort of destination, and is simply existing. Just the very act of living has suddenly become the great creed. The rest of life crumbles and falls away as some kind of unreality, and in that experience all things are possible. Ghosts walk with shovels on their backs. I see them moving slowly through the grey quiet, outwards to a swath of arable land flung recklessly amidst the Atlantic shoals. They bend and rise in rhythmic worship of this morsel of earth. They caress the freshly turned soil and seduce its furrowed surface in this land of salted bones and sea-drowned stone. Brown, swollen bellies are rising in the hard ground, inching their way to the beckoning sun. Muffled and ancient heartbeats murmur deep within their earthen crypts. I hear them talking of tide and weather, and watch them look seaward towards fog-captured horizons. Into the soil float the maternal seeds of hope, for the dying soul and for the living corpse. Like prayers, they will rise when winds are soft under the drenching moon, and when gathered clouds weep at the fierceness of their thirst. Disintegrating in a timeless renewal, they will edge their molecular way into the stubborn crop that emerges, fist raised, into the leaden Newfoundland sky. Sequestered in the endless drift of time, these ghosts are memories warriors, arisen fresh in the new fields of battle. Pirate souls, they cruise ancient shorelines and seek unfinished lives that clutch and grasp at the cape of hope. Indeed, they bring hope in the very violence of their existence. I long to speak, to reach out and touch them. From memory's dancing light, their shadows are thrown like crushed embers against my realness. I know them, these people who once fought and loved in my place, whom I love and fight for, and whose eyes catch mine from out of the stealth darkness. In the great sea mists they dwell, their pale flesh marbled by the wetness, their cold grasp yet holding a sense of self, immutably conjoined to a sense of place. How is it that you remain here? Are you still not free to go away? It is important that I follow your scent. I have stolen glances while walking the barren land forests, long since fallen before old fires. Amongst the old juniper men I feel at home, less wearied and unfearingly mortal. Towards their townships I advance, soul forming. I have found you within rock caves nestled above the sea's reach and drenched in Beothic scent. I have lain there and talked of the great illness and loss of coastal riches, and in high plateau areas where fevered winds are asylumd, I have incarcerated my soul, while feeling that only I was uncaged. I hear your voice in the muted cries of birds, swept away in the forever salt darkness, and in the songs of great sea creatures whose ways will persist unto extinction. With your image before me, I have drowned in the wake of whales. Strike up a conversation. Why not? Let us sit upon this grassy bank and stretch our spirits along its sun-warmed skin. Or better still, lean our souls beyond this hard muscle of stone and fall, senses swollen, through the unbroken transparency. For only in this forever falling world can our spirits soar. Can we become the winged creatures, angels of this island, fairies of this magic kingdom? Your words are heavy, and must be dragged along like some kelp-filled cart, my friend, wetness falling from its sides like spittle from your mouth. But I run beside and catch your spillage as though life itself was its essence. In the departed places you are, in Richards Harbour, Bruley, Presk and O'Dearn, in northeast Crouse and Williamsport, all those places where you once met and courted life. I hear the thud of hammers and the even swish of carpenters' planes curling boat skin through their mouths. I smell the pitch that bubbles over open fires, bark pots alert to the day's work, hissing and spilling their readiness, the twine scattered like thoughts upon the stony plain. I hear the shouts of men, the barking of dogs, the cries of gulls, the laughter of children, the talk of women, the crackle and slap of clothes alive in the southwest breeze, all blending in a drifting mist, pieces of life flung against the sky of time. Stars that twinkle and dance for me now. I look and eagerly wait for one to die, its brilliance streaking across the black interior and burning its resolute memory into darker than ink seas. Most luminous in death, they teach a lesson to those who might learn. And in the cradle of quiet moments, this forever youthful ghost sleeps, dreaming of the spacelessness of our time and the timelessness of our space. Hold on, old ghosts, hold on. A new crop is in the ground. I think that every life ought to be a myth. If there is no mythology in the life of an individual, the individual is leading an existence that is pale and deprived of that kind of really rich experience that life is supposed to be and can be full of. And whether we speak of Celtic culture, whether we speak of Indian culture, whether we go back to the Paleolithic, or we go to the Middle Ages, or whether we go to the present day, whether we speak of organized religion, or whether we speak of so-called pagan societies, always there is this kind of necessity to express themselves by demonstrating their relatedness to a greater order, to a greater power, to a greater source. There is something in the soul of man that has always led to these queries and has always necessitated some kind of attempt to explain how he felt. And I find it extremely easy to understand how a life could be mythological, how there could be a myth to existence in a place like Newfoundland, while at the same time recognizing that it would be much, much harder for this to be the case, for example, in, the center of a downtown city.